Okay. So the 60 Minutes broadcast was a victory for Biden and Harris. Now, does it do Trump any damage? I don't know. I mean, Trump supporters know the fix is in on the networks. They know it already. Most of them probably didn't even watch it. But there are people like this, you know? Okay, so let's get very specific here. Let me back up what I've said. The first soundbite I'm going to play is very troubling to me as a journalist. Roll it.
You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie, and you know that, but you just don't want to put it on the air.
Okay, now Leslie Stahl is totally irresponsible here. Totally. She says it's, and I told you a week ago that unverified was the mantra the Democrats were going to use with Biden and everything else. Oh, it's unverified. Like you reported for 3 years about Russian collusion in the Trump campaign, and all of a sudden the Mueller investigation goes, didn't happen. So for 3 years, you guys reported unverified stuff every single day. But now, when it's the accusations are against the Democrats, it's unverified. So Leslie Stahl said no 3 times. We can't verify what you're saying, President Trump, that your campaign was spied upon. We can't verify it at CBS News. Oh, no? All you had to do was look at the transcript from Inspector General Michael Horowitz, who did an exhaustive study on this for the Justice Department. Roll the tape.
The Crossfire Hurricane team obtained information from Steele's primary subsource in January 2017 that raised significant questions about the reliability of the Steele reporting. This was particularly noteworthy because the FISA applications relied entirely on information from the primary subsource's reporting to support the allegation that Page was coordinating with the Russian government on 2016 U.S. presidential election activities. However, the FBI did not share this information with department lawyers, and it was therefore omitted from the last 2 renewal applications.
Page is Carter Page, all right, who was working for the Trump campaign. The Inspector General, and I hope Leslie Stahl is watching tonight, said flat out that the surveillance FISA warrants to spy and tap Carter Page, part of the Trump campaign, was based on information that was false. And the FBI knew it was false, yet submitted the FISA warrant anyway. Leslie Stahl tells the world that President Trump's statement his campaign was spied upon is not verified. That is not true. I just proved it. Now, CBS News going to apologize, going to do a segment on Sunday, next Sunday, saying, we really screwed this up. No, they won't. No, they won't. I'll submit to you if Mike Wallace were still alive and Don Hewitt were still alive, the guys that made 60 Minutes the success that it's been, that never would have happened. I don't think Leslie Stahl is a bad woman. I don't. I don't think she even knew about the Horowitz thing. But it's her job to know. When I heard that, when I was sitting there, I just went, are you kidding? Unverified? This is so serious. I can't tell you how serious this is. I mean, we're voting for president. And we have CBS and the other networks lying to you about what's happening? All right, one question was asked by 60 Minutes about Hunter Biden. Roll it.
Do you believe the recent leak of material allegedly from Hunter's computer is part of a Russian disinformation campaign?
From what I've read and know, the intelligence community warned the president that Giuliani was being fed disinformation from the Russians. And we also know that Putin is trying very hard to spread disinformation about Joe Biden. And so when you put the combination of Russia, Giuliani, the president together, it's just what it is. It's a smear campaign because he has nothing he wants to talk about. What is he running on? What is he running on?
So it's a smear campaign engineered by Vladimir Putin, the leader of Russia. No follow-up from Maura O'Donnell. Nothing. Journalism 101. Mr. Biden, a smear campaign organized by President Putin? Can you back that up for me? Can you give me some evidence of that? It's pretty startling. So all this stuff about Hunter Biden, all the hard drive emails, it's all orchestrated by Vladimir Putin, according to Joe Biden. And that's accepted by 60 Minutes. Okay, final soundbite. And then I'm going to tell you something that happened to me this weekend that's very, very strange. Kamala Harris is a dangerous woman. You've heard me say that more than one time. She doesn't believe in due process. She is as far left as you can get. That's documented. Okay? You cannot get any more far left than this woman is. She could be president because Joe Biden's 78 years old. Roll the tape.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage, but...
Yeah. So are you going to bring the policies, those progressive policies that you supported as senator, into a Biden administration?
I will always share with him my lived experience as it relates to any issue that we confront. And I promised Joe that I will give him that perspective and always be honest with him.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. No, it is the perspective of a woman who grew up a black child in America.
So the laugh is like Hillary Clinton. It's not funny. None of that's funny. She is as far left as you can get, and Ms. O'Donnell accurately pointed that out. That was an assessment by a nonpartisan group that evaluates senators, not Mike Pence on the debate stage. And Harris knows that. She just chose not to tell the truth. So, but she's laughing, this bizarre laugh, like, oh, no, I know. I mean, it's not funny, lady. If you're president, if you ever get there, you'll destroy this country. All right. Now listen to this. So I'm coming out of Mass on Saturday night. Catholics are allowed to go to Mass on Saturday night. And I'm walking across the parking lot with my son. And guy, wearing a mask, we all had masks, approaches, goes, "You're Bill O'Reilly." I said, "Unfortunately," that's my line. And he goes, I'm an investigator on the Hunter Biden case. All right? So I never saw this guy in my life, but he lives on Long Island. I said, "Well, that's interesting." He goes, "Would you like to see the hard drive that we have in our possession?" And I go, "Well, maybe, but I got to take it step by step. I don't know you, and I certainly don't want to get involved with anything nefarious." But then the journalist in me kicks in. And I said, let's put me aside for a moment. On that hard drive, are you convinced that Joe Biden got money from either Russia, Ukraine, or China? Because those are the three entities that we know paid Hunter Biden. But that's established beyond any reasonable doubt. Hunter Biden made millions of dollars. No doubt about that. Joe Biden, his father, says he earned it legitimately. Fine. I'm interested in, did any of that money find its way into Joe Biden's pocket? This is my job. Okay. The guy says, we believe so. Now, this is not a law enforcement agency. I'm not going to tell you what the context was because it wouldn't be right to do that at this point. But it's not a law enforcement agency, but it is an agency that's looking into this situation. And I said, well, what's the evidence? Apparently on the hard drive, according to this investigator, there are references to Joe Biden, but he has a code name. And the code name is an upstate New York town where his mother was born, or something like that. So there's a series of emails involving transactions of money that these investigators believe, and I can't vouch for them, involve Biden, and Biden has got a code name, Joe Biden. Okay. Then I say, well, what about the money coming into Hunter Biden's possession? Was that declared with the IRS? That's the key. Because if Hunter Biden made tens of millions of dollars, as this man purported he did, from the three, Russia, Ukraine, China, if that indeed happened, he'd have to declare it on his taxes. Hunter would. Or like Al Capone, he goes to federal prison. Guy says the money came through of various businesses. Okay, so the checks were made out to businesses. The wire transfers of money went into businesses. Okay, according to this stuff on the hard drive, on Hunter Biden's hard drive. Now, I don't know, and this guy didn't know. And I said, did the IRS know? He goes, I don't know. We don't know. Because the FBI, who's had the hard drive for almost a year, not saying anything, and we don't know if the IRS is involved at all. So there was some chat after that, which wasn't to the level that I just told you. And then I exchanged information with him, and I'll follow up. So the importance of this is so bizarre. This is so bizarre. And my son is saying, like, because he knows what's going on. And so I checked the guy, and the guy's legit after I got home. And now I got a really good contact. But that's where we are on this. So Hunter Biden, if he didn't declare this money, he's done. Because they'll have to, even if his father's elected president. IRS have to track this. As far as Joe Biden getting any money directly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just reporting what I was told. Brett Tolman is our go-to guy for Justice Department matters. He's a former U.S. attorney from Utah. He joins us now from Salt Lake City. How about that for a story, Tolman, huh?
Wow, that was some revelation.
So let me ask you a series of questions here.
Yeah.
So do you believe the FBI had this Hunter Biden hard drive for a year? Is that what you're hearing?
I do. I think it is, it's such a contrast to what happened when Comey got any information and how quickly he went to the White House versus what it appears Chris Wray has done. But all of my friends in the Department of Justice that I speak with and talk to are cringing at the fact that it appears they had this for a long time.
We'll never know. We'll never know because Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, and he's not going to say what they're doing with this hard drive, if anything, correct?
Yeah, he's gonna hide behind, we neither confirm nor deny the existence of an investigation. The problem is, it's very apparent when somebody's digging into something versus when they're not. And we don't see any of the earmarkings that the investigation was taken seriously until just recently.
Now, would the IRS, not a part of the Justice Department, so I'm asking you a question you may not know, with all of these headlines and the hard drive and all of that, would they take a look?
They would. The IRS is part of a task force, a financial task force with the FBI. So they would have the ability to have immediate access and work with the FBI if there was any indication that there was, improper receipt of money without declaring the income. And I think you hit on the exact issue, Bill. This is potentially a conspiracy to take in money that may or may not involve the candidate for the presidency, his son, Hunter Biden, and others. And you can include money laundering and various other charges that could go along with it.
Joe Biden's elected president. If that happens, he appoints a very friendly attorney general. Maybe nothing happens. They order nothing to be looked at. Is that possible?
It's possible. What is really important right now is you see that Chris Wray apparently starts to investigate and treat this serious as a result of Congress weighing in, sending letters, folks like Senator Grassley and Johnson and the other representatives. It tells you why it's so important that there is an effort in Congress to hold the executive branch accountable. If the Democrats win all three, this is a disaster.
Right, because then they control the committees and they won't even put the subject on for discussion. All right.
That's right.